In this video, we're going to be looking at how to add mixed numbers. Okay, so let's take a look. What's a mixed number? Okay, so basically it's a number with the whole number part and a fraction part. So you're going to get a number part, and you're also going to get a fraction part. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at a few examples of how we can go ahead and add some mixed numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at 1 2/3 plus 3 1/5. Okay, so how we go about adding these two fractions? Okay, so here we see 1, that's our whole number part, and here 2/3, that's our fraction part, and we're adding another mixed number, so that's just what? So 3 is our whole number part and 1/5 is our fraction part. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. Well, what does this notation mean? Right here, 1 2/3 just means 1 plus 2/3 plus 1 3/5, which just means 3 plus. So basically this is just a more compact way to write this fraction. Okay, so basically we see that when we add mixed numbers, we can add the whole parts, and then we can add the fractions. Okay, so we have these fractions right here, but what do we notice? That they have denominators that aren't the same. So we're going to have to find a common denominator. Okay, well, one method we could use is the multiple method. We can just go ahead and list multiples of 3 and 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and list multiples of 3. So it's going to be 3. If we add another 3, we get 6. Add another 3, we get 9. Add another 3, we get 12. And add another 3, we get 15. Okay, so let's go ahead and check 5. We get 5. We add another 5, we get 10. Another 5, we get 15. So we notice that the lowest multiple they have in common is what? 15. So we're going to have to go ahead and multiply 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have to multiply 5 by 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here we're going to have to get equivalent fractions. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. So we see this is going to be equal to, okay, so we're going to add our whole number parts. So that's going to be 4 and our whole number parts. Okay, so let's go ahead and just wait to add these together. Okay, so let's just get 1 and 1. 2/3, and we saw we're going to have to multiply this by 5. So we're going to have to multiply the denominator and numerator by this 5 because we want to get an equivalent fraction. Okay, and we're also adding 3 and 1/5, but we saw we're going to have to multiply this one by 3. So we got to multiply the denominator and the numerator by 3 to get equivalent fractions. Okay, so now we can go ahead and rewrite this. So we get 1 and what? So we already saw the denominator is going to be 15, and the numerator is going to be what? 2 times 5, so that's going to be 10, plus 3 and what? 15, and our numerator is going to be 3. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add these. So now we can go ahead and add the whole number parts now. So 1 plus 3, that's going to be 4. And now we have the same denominator, so we can keep that. Now we can add our fractions. And we see 10 plus 3, that's 13. So we see that our final answer is what? 4 and 13 over 15. Now we couldn't reduce this because 13 is a prime number and 15 is not a multiple of 13. So this would be our fraction in lowest terms. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at another quick example. So let's say we are adding 2 2/7 plus 4 and 3 over 14. Okay, so we're going to have to get a common denominator here. So we could go ahead and list our multiples. So we get 7, 14. So this is a 14, so it looks like we're gonna 14 is gonna be our lowest common multiple. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a common denominator now. Okay, so we're gonna have to multiply this what? 7 by 2. So we're gonna have to multiply the denominator by 2, and we're also going to multiply the numerator by 2. Okay, so what's our equivalent fraction going to be here? So it's going to be 2, and 7 times 2, that's 14, and 2 times 2, the numerator is going to be 4. So then we're just going to add this to 4, and what? 3 over 14, okay? So now we can add the whole number parts, which is what? 2 plus 4, that's going to be 6. And we have a common denominator now, so it stays 14. And now we add the numerators. 4 plus 3, that's 7. Okay, now we can see here that what? 7 can be divided by 7, and 14 can be divided by 7 because it's a multiple of 7. So now we can go ahead and see that we can reduce this by dividing the numerator and the denominator by 7. So we're going to get 6, and 7 can be divided by 7 one time, and 14 can be divided by 7 two times. So we see that our answer in reduced form is 6 1/2. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few more examples. Okay. So let's see, we have, for example, 2/3 plus 6 1/6. Okay, so let's go ahead and make multiples real quick to see what our common denominator is going to be. So we see this is going to be 3, and if we add another 3, we get 6. But then we can already see here that this is a 6, so we're going to see our common denominator is going to be 6. So we're going to have to multiply this 3 by what? 1, 2 to get a common denominator. Okay, and we're also going to have to multiply the numerator by 2 to get an equivalent fraction. So we see that this equivalent fraction is going to be 2 times 2, that's 4. And we're also adding this 6 1/6. So we see we get here, we have our whole number parts, there's nothing here, and we got a 6, so we're going to get a 6. We're going to keep the denominator, it's going to be a 6 and what? 4 plus 1, that's 5. So we see our answer is 6 5/6. And here we couldn't reduce this because 5 is a prime and 6 is not a multiple of 5. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at another example. Okay. So here let's take a look at 1 7/8 plus 2 1/10. Okay. So here we're going to have to get a common denominator because 8 and 10 are different. Okay. So let's go ahead and list some multiples real quick. So let's go ahead and list 8 and the 10 multiples. Okay. So we're going to get 8. If we add another 8, we get 16. If we add another 8, we get 24. And if we add another 8, we're going to get 32. And if we add another 8, we're going to get 40. Okay. So we know that our lowest common multiple is going to have to end in 0 because it has to be a multiple of 10 as well. So it looks like 40 is going to be our lowest common multiple because we're going to get 10, 20, 30, 40. So it looks like 40 is going to work out. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what our equivalent fractions are going to be. So we're going to see 1, and we're going to get 8, and we're going to have to multiply 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to have to multiply the 7 by 5 to get equivalent fractions. And we get 2. We're going to have to multiply the 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4. Also got to multiply the 1 by 4. That way we get equivalent fractions. Okay. So now let's see what our equivalent fractions are. 1, and we already saw our denominators are going to be 40. And 7 times 5, that's 35. And we're going to add 2. And 10 times 4, that's 40. 1 times 4, that's 4. And now we see we can add the whole numbers. So we get 1 plus 2, that's 3. And we have a common denominator now, so we can keep that the same. So that's going to be 40. And now we can go ahead and add the 35. plus 4, so that's 39. And this turns out to be the answer in the fraction reduced form, because 39 and 40 don't have any common factors that will cancel. Thank you for watching the video, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe.